In this video, we will explore one of the most fundamental aspects of AutoCAD, the coordinate system. This is crucial because AutoCAD relies on coordinates to accurately position points, draw objects, and measure distances. AutoCAD uses the widely adopted Cartesian coordinate system for creating drawings. In this system, we work with three axes: X, Y, and Z. The Z-axis is not visible at this stage because we are working with a 2D drawing. The red line represents the X-axis. The green line represents the Y-axis, while the Z-axis is depicted by the blue line, which we cannot see at the moment because it points outward from the screen. These three axes define the direction and position of every object in AutoCAD. The point where all three axes intersect is called the origin. Its coordinate values are 0, 0, 0, with each 0 representing the X, Y, and Z axes respectively. For 2D drawings, only the X and Y axes are relevant. The first coordinate corresponds to the X-axis, and the second to the Y-axis, as shown here. Remember to include commas to separate the X and Y values. You may notice a grid line here. These large blocks consist of 10 horizontal and vertical lines. Each small block measures 1 by 1 unit. To find the coordinate of any point relative to the origin, you simply measure the distance of the point along the X-axis and the Y-axis. For example, to determine the coordinates of this point, count the number of blocks along the X and Y axes. In this case, there are 10 units along the X-axis and 10 along the Y-axis. By drawing imaginary lines from each axis, their intersection indicates the exact coordinate of the point, which is 10, 10. Similarly, another point can be identified by counting 10 units along the X-axis and 5 units along the Y-axis, giving you the result of the coordinate, 10, 5. Suppose you want to draw a line passing through the origin and this point using the Cartesian coordinate system. Select the line tool and click on the origin. Since the coordinates are known, enter 10 for the X coordinate, then press the comma key to input the Y coordinate. The X coordinate is already locked to 10 units, so hover your mouse to find the Y coordinate, or just enter the exact Y coordinate. I will just type 5 for the Y coordinate. After pressing the enter, we have this line using the X and Y value. This process illustrates the basic concept of the Cartesian coordinate system, where any point's position is defined by its X and Y values. In addition to the X and Y coordinates, AutoCAD also supports the polar coordinate system. In this system, we define the length and an angle of the line. For instance, to draw a line 10 units long at a 50-degree angle, start by specifying the first point in the drawing area. Then set the line's length to 10 units. Now, this time, we're going to press the Tab key. Once you press the Tab key, the length of 10 will automatically be locked, restricting the length to 10 in any direction. After that, you can hover the cursor to get the angle of 50 units, or just type 50, then press Enter. We have this line now that measure 10 units in length and 50 degrees in angle. This summarizes the basic concepts of Cartesian and polar coordinate systems in AutoCAD. We will explore these concepts further as we progress through the course. Now that we are familiar with AutoCAD, we will move on to learn the essential tools for creating drawings.